EMS talks stall as paramedics warn of deepening crisis and service strain. Guilty plea instead of a new trial.
That's an amazing demonstration of remorse. I don't think anyone should cynically look at what happened here.
Why Windsor man will now be able to apply for parole sooner. And honoring Black history and legacy.
Walter Perry was the figure that actually brought this place to life.
Details of a new Emancipation monument revealed.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. A possible strike looms closer after conciliation talks between Essex-Windsor EMS and its paramedics ended with no meaningful progress, according to the union. CTV's Robert Lothian joins us now with the latest on what we know so far. Robert.
Yeah, well, Stefanie, union officials say that the employer failed to bring forward solutions to what they call a worsening staffing and mental health crisis on the front lines. It's the latest meeting in a months-long stalemate between the two sides. This comes after a 100% strike vote earlier this year and 2 code black incidents just last week where no ambulances were available to respond to calls. The union, representing roughly 340 paramedics, says the service remains short dozens of workers, leaving ambulances unstaffed and forcing crews to work overtime under increasing pressure. Union President James Jovanovich says the situation is no longer a warning sign, but a system already under serious strain. Both sides are scheduled to return to the bargaining table on May 8th.
So paramedics are discouraged right now. We were hopeful that the two sides would come to an agreement with the presence of that conciliator. The fact that we haven't yet been able to reach a deal simply means that we press forward. Now, we're not sure what that looks like quite yet. Talks have broken down, but we're putting our faith in County Council and our administration that they'll come to the table and reach a settlement.
We did reach out to the County of Essex for their reaction. The county said, out of respect for the collective bargaining process, they have no comments at this time. Steph.
Okay, so Robert, paramedics are not deemed an essential service. So if they go out on strike, do we know exactly what this would look like?
Well, you're right, Stefanie, and unlike police and firefighters, EMS do have the ability to strike. However, the levels of job action are determined actually by an independent body. At the end of the day, the union says how a strike looks will come from the Ontario Labour Relations Board. In the past, Jovanovich says this has included a 20 to 40% reduction of ambulances. Now, typically when ambulances are not available, fire and police crews are typically required on scene longer and are there called to respond to more health emergencies. Now, of course, the union says the goal is to avoid any changes which could affect the public. And as we mentioned before, conciliation talks are scheduled right now, Steph, for May 8th.
Okay, and we'll follow up after that.
Absolutely.
Robert, with our top story. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
OPP are investigating a sudden death in Tecumseh around 5:30 on Thursday. OPP were called to Chornoby Crescent to help EMS Tecumseh Fire with that death investigation. Police say the investigation is in its early stages and residents in the area should expect to see an increased police presence. They add there is no threat to public safety. In Superior Court today, an unexpected guilty plea from a man who was granted a new trial for murder. As CTV's Michelle Molesky reports, John Wayne Pierre can now apply for parole sooner.
John Wayne Pierre pleaded guilty Friday to second-degree murder.
That's an amazing demonstration of remorse. I don't think anyone should cynically look at what happened here.
Because defense lawyer Ken Marley says his client was owed a second trial. 42-year-old Leslie Waterworth was killed in November 2016 by Pierre in a jealous rage fueled by alcohol. He pleaded not guilty in 2018 and went to trial in front of a jury.
He was a different person then. We thought, very compelling evidence that this was manslaughter, not murder. And so that's why we approached that trial in that way.
The jury convicted Pierre and he was sent to prison with no chance of parole until 2031 at the earliest. Pierre successfully appealed the conviction and sentence and was due to be retried. So it was unusual Friday when Pierre pleaded guilty instead of recalling evidence that is 10 years old. The Crown concedes. Witnesses' memories fade. Some witnesses may no longer be available at all, and the reliability and completeness of the evidence can be affected in ways no one can fully control.
I'm not saying that it would have resulted in the Crown offering no evidence, but it could have. And then what would people say then, right? Mr. Pierre avoided that result by doing what I consider to be the honorable thing.
Waterworth's brother Brian told CTV News Friday in a statement they are disappointed in how the justice system has handled parts of this process. It has been a long and painful journey, and at times it has felt like our family has had to carry more than we should. Justice Bruce Thomas described Waterworth's murder as, quote, a brutal domestic homicide. But Pierre's plea, he said, was meaningful in sparing the family another trial, saving court time, and taking full responsibility for what he did a decade ago. Pierre was sentenced to life in prison, but his parole ineligibility was dropped down to 10 years, meaning he can apply for parole this November.
It's completely up to the Parole Board of Canada.
At Superior Court, Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
2 men are under arrest after a brazen break-in on Wyandotte Street that started with a fire. We first told you about the fire and break-in at Squad Pub and Grill earlier this month. Now police saying the fire was used to create an opening into the building that 2 suspects later used to get inside. Investigators say cash, a credit card, jewelry, and electronics were taken. One of the suspects was caught using that stolen card at nearby stores. A 45-year-old and a 39-year-old face charges including break-and-enter, fraud, and possession of stolen property. Now, with the warmer weather, Windsor police are keeping a close eye on the roads, issuing 334 enforcements during a recent traffic blitz. Over the past 4 days, officers issued tickets for a range of violations, including speeding, distracted driving, driving while suspended, and driving without insurance. Let's take a break now. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins us for a first look at the weather tonight. Gary.
Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening, folks. Cold front sweeping through the lower Great Lakes at this hour. The showers, we saw the advancement of this boundary close to about 5 to 5:15, and this west to east progression will bring the showers into the lower Great Lakes region, southern Ontario proper over the next few hours. In behind it, more rain, which means we're wet and unsettled late this evening into early Saturday morning. Will it be a complete washout for Saturday, perhaps the weekend? That's important information. I have the answers to that question coming up with my complete forecast in moments. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk. Stephanie?
Learning how to manage money will soon be a mandatory part of Ontario's high school curriculum. Starting this fall, as CTV's Tyler Fleming reports, students will have to pass a financial literacy test in order to graduate.
For 17-year-old Noah Bertrand, money already matters.
You're starting to actually have expenses and things you have to pay for.
He works part-time and plans to study commerce and says learning the basics should be mandatory in high school.
The sort of transition between high school and the sort of real world, knowing a lot of that stuff about taxes and interest is very important.
Right now, learning about financial literacy is optional, but starting in September, students will need to pass a test in grade 10, scoring at least 70% to graduate.
I think it's a great idea.
The province says it's about balancing the books early, teaching teens how to budget, save, invest, and avoid scams. Parent Gaetan Purdy says it's long overdue.
When I was in high school, they did not teach that, so I think this program will help the kids help what we did our day-to-day lives financially.
The latest data from Statistics Canada shows younger Canadians carry nearly $1.70 owed for every dollar earned. Debts tied to school loans, credit cards, and car payments.
When you have knowledge about how your finances work, you can put guardrails in to say, okay, if things start going sideways, what do I do?
Money touches every part of life, and experts say learning discipline early is a skill young adults can take to the bank.
Then they'll be able to say no to a lot of these things because you're exposed to it 24/7 now with your phones, which is good for merchandisers, not so good for consumers. So you have to know how to say no. And I think that's a big thing, too, with the literacy, is knowing what your limitations are.
Yeah, I've got a bit of like money put away, RESPs and all that.
For Bertrand, the calculation is simple. Understanding money now can pay out down the road. Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
8 little words in a social media post by Lisa Gretzky, MPP for Windsor West, are getting a lot of traction online. Gretzky wrote, quote, "Doug Ford is corrupt, like if you agree." So far, the post has received almost 3,000 likes. Hundreds of comments range from "that's his middle name" to "why don't you join the Conservative Party and replace Ford" to "Doug Ford is the best premier ever." Essex County is about to see a change at the top, with Warden Hilda McDonald stepping aside. But as local leaders look ahead, there's growing concern over a provincial bill that could change how that role is filled, even allowing Queen's Park to appoint someone themselves. CTV's Brian Bicknell reports.
They're elected representatives who oversee maintenance of roadways, parks, garbage collection, and a host of services. Now, some are concerned democracy may be under threat when it comes to upper-tier governments or county councils.
Considering that they're making decisions about local issues, that it should be local representation and not appointed by a body that's larger than ours.
You know, with the elected warden via appointed warden, I think it could start a slippery slope maybe, but I think if the system is currently working, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right?
The Western Ontario Wardens Caucus is sounding the alarm over the province's Bill 100, the Better Regional Governance Act. Proposed changes would include provincially appointed wardens rather than wardens selected from within elected county councils.
Municipal government in general works really well. If your garbage gets collected and the road gets plowed, you don't really care who does it.
Caucus Chair, Oxford County Warden Marcus Ryan says local leadership matters, especially in rural areas.
If Western Wardens Caucus is right, and that if some of the changes that could happen were negative, then I think residents would say, hey, how come I can't talk to somebody anymore that I used to be able to talk to, or how come I don't get to vote for that person? And I think that's the reason that we expressed the concern to the minister in the letter, is we think that this works.
The concerns stem in part from proposed changes announced in Simcoe County earlier this month. Under the new bill, the province would shrink the size of that county council and appoint the next warden. The appointee would be given strong chair powers similar to strong mayor powers. The proposal also parallels the overhaul of education, where the province is considering changes that would reduce the powers of school board trustees.
I think it's a great idea. The local public have no idea on what they're doing, especially with school trustees. So why not let the people that know what they're doing appoint the proper person?
They don't know what they're talking about up there in Toronto. Let's have it for here, local. Should always be elected.
The caucus says it's advocating for the province to ensure any reforms maintain locally elected leadership, recognize the difference between municipal structures, reflect rural and regional realities, and be developed in partnership with municipalities. Brian Bicknell, CTV News, Oxford County.
The City of Windsor will be keeping its 311 customer contact center in-house, rejecting outside delivery options. 311 is a hub for non-emergency city services and information. Last year, the service handled more than 135,000 calls during business hours and offered 24/7 access online. The city will, however, step back from directly providing 211 services, which will now be delivered through Ontario's existing network. Officials say the focus is shifting to improving digital access with customer experience. Now, this takes us to our question of the day. Have you ever called Windsor's 311 information line? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you are planning a staycation this summer. Out of around 600 votes, 67% of respondents say yes, they are. More details today on changes coming to a familiar Windsor golf course property, but the condo proposal for Roseland continues to spark controversy. Reporter Chris Campbell joins us now in the newsroom with more on this tonight. Chris.
Yes, Stephanie, the mayor and developer today unveiling plans for what's being called the residences at Roseland, a multi-million-dollar condo project. But one city councillor and some residents are pushing back.
Renderings show a four-story building with 48 units overlooking the Roseland Golf Course, part of the city's push to increase housing supply. Mayor Drew Dilkin says the $33.5 million project still has to go through public consultation, including an open house next week before heading to council.
It still has to go through a public open house, then it goes to committee, then it goes to city council, and so that process on the public open house will happen April the 30th at the Capri Center. So that process still has lots of public touch points.
The city says units could range from the mid-$400,000 range to more than $1 million, aimed largely at homeowners looking to downsize.
I used to sit around and draw a map with Roseland, and I actually circled the Shorty course and said this would be a great spot for a condo. And then the RFP came out, and it was like they wanted to build it on the clubhouse lands, and we jumped on it, and here we are today.
Developer Peter Valente says demand for the historic golf course condos is already there.
I know that there's a lot of older people that want to move up to a condo. There hasn't been a new condo built in South Windsor in quite some time.
But noticeably absent from today's announcement was Ward 1 Councillor Fred Francis, who opposes the project and represents the Roseland neighborhood.
I'm not attending because I don't support the project. I just don't think it's a good development.
He says he has concerns about transparency and how the land is being developed.
When you're dealing with public land, and especially public heritage land, and when you're dealing with Roseland, public heritage land that hasn't been disrupted in 100 years, I think you have to be as open and transparent and allow the public as part of that process as much as possible.
Some nearby residents also raising concerns, including the loss of community space and whether condos are the best use for the property.
It's sad to see a community center being torn down because in the wintertime we had this place as a convenient place for seniors.
Others questioning whether more public amenities should be considered for this space.
There's no reason why they couldn't put a library in here or put public space in here so that would be available to the public.
The proposal is expected to go to City Council for debate as early as June, and construction, if approved, could potentially begin next year. Peter Valente says he's hopeful people can move in by late 2028. Stephanie?
Okay, Chris Campbell tonight. Thank you for this. And a major tribute to Black history in Windsor is taking shape. The design has been unveiled for an Emancipation celebration monument at Jackson Park.
250,000 people came to Windsor every year to celebrate Emancipation Day. It was world-renowned.
The monument will feature a 28-foot archway inspired by the park's historic bandstand, along with murals, interpretive displays, and gathering areas, highlighting the history of Emancipation Day in Windsor, Essex. Backed by more than $400,000 from the city, the sculpture is expected to be completed by the end of July, and a public unveiling is being planned for Emancipation Day on August 1st. Meanwhile, a fundraising campaign is now underway for a life-sized bronze statue of Walter Perry, known as Mr. Emancipation, honoring his decades of work organizing the city's historic celebrations. Officials say the area will serve as both a community gathering space and a lasting tribute to local Black heritage.
There's absolutely no better way to celebrate Emancipation Day than to actually have this built, this setup built on the site of the original stage where Dr. Martin Luther King spoke, and to actually commemorate it with Walter Perry's statue. Walter Perry was the figure that actually brought this place to life.
Flight canceled, cruise missed, and no refunds. Still ahead on Windsor's News Leader, why some travel insurance policies may not cover you. Could you be missing deductions and overpaying?
To reduce my tax over $2,000.
Coming up, some of the deductions that are often missed. And Monday at City Council, millions for sewer upgrades and flood protection, potential fee increases, and a push to protect historic properties. What it means to your wallet. That's Monday at 6 on CTV News.
Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Turning to the latest on the trade war between Canada and the U.S. Top American trade officials have threatened some form of enforcement action over the ongoing issue of wine and spirits. Several provinces, including Ontario, pulled U.S. alcohol from stores last year after U.S. President Donald Trump started the trade war. Speaking before a congressional hearing on Wednesday, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer warned there may have been an enforcement action to deal with the issue of wines and spirits. This comes as Canada's new ambassador to the U.S. says Canada is ready to start CUSMA negotiations. A canceled flight can already derail a vacation, but for some travelers, it could now come with a costly surprise. Travel insurance may no longer cover you. CTV Janvier's Beauchemin explains.
Stefanie Hallett-Lamoureux booked a dream Baltic family cruise 2 years ago. Now she worries the jet fuel crisis will scrub her flight plans.
I know that Air Canada will give us our money back, but the cruise, no, they won't.
Airlines are responsible for the flights, but not bus tours, cruises, and some travel insurance policies cover those costs, says expert Martin Firestone.
They don't make their cruise. They don't get to their Airbnb rental. They make a claim. They submit the receipts. They get reimbursed. That's now not going to be the way it's going to go.
The jet fuel crisis is now a known cause, and so policies purchased from now on, says Firestone, may not cover events linked to that reason.
You have to be wise enough to figure out your schedule and itineraries to give yourself the days you're going to need if it doesn't leave on the day it was supposed to.
Those who booked prior to the unprecedented crisis could also face roadblocks. Most policies have a war exclusion that voids insurance claims linked to conflicts, and insurers could potentially consider the jet fuel crisis a related cost of the war in the Middle East.
Call the insurer. The policy wording, sometimes it's hard to understand.
CA travel insurance expert Nadia Goyette says checking what your private, group, or credit card insurance covers is key. They may all be very different.
You saved up to pay for that trip from a long time. You don't want to have that all ruined.
Lamoureux says all she can do now is hope the flight will take off.
I definitely will not make this mistake again. I will make sure I am double and triple covered.
Experts say it's crucial that travelers understand what their policies cover, but also that they seek advice when necessary and that they pack their patience when they head out on trips now. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
This year's income tax deadline is nearly upon us as last-minute filers rush to get their taxes done before April 30th. Experts say there are some deductions people often miss, and they may be handing over more money to the government than they need to. Here's CTV's John Venevali-Rao.
It is tax season, and we need to talk about taxes.
Online, all sorts of tax tips are offered up.
I somehow managed to reduce my taxes by like over $2,000.
With the filing deadline fast approaching.
Have you filed your income taxes yet? Yes, sir. Right away. They owed me money.
And the number one tip from experts, make sure you file by April 30th because there's a late penalty of 5% on the balance owing, plus 1% for every additional month you delay up to a year.
If you have a balance owing on your tax return, the deadline is really important.
Tax expert Jerry Vitarato says the biggest change this year was the new lower tax rate on the lowest tax bracket, which will save the average filer $110. When it comes to credits and deductions, the tax system is more than 400. Among the medical expenses people forget to claim, prescription sunglasses. And when it comes to couples and charitable giving, it's usually best to have the highest earning spouse claim all of the donations.
If you bought your first home last year, you can claim it on your taxes.
First-time home buyers are reminded they can get a federal tax credit of up to $1,500. And experts say some don't realize if they moved for work or school, they can potentially deduct moving costs.
As long as they move 40 kilometers closer, you could actually deduct a lot of these moving expenses, including commission to sell your home, to get another home closer to your work, things like that.
Federato says the biggest problem he sees is that people forget to keep receipts for things like charitable donations, certain medical and childcare expenses, which should be kept in a box or folder.
The biggest mistake that people make is that they're just missing receipts. They're missing, claims that they can make because they can't find the receipts.
Meanwhile, if the government owes you money, you can ignore the filing deadline, but experts say it's best to get it done as soon as possible and use the refund to pay down debt or invest. John Venavalle-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Canada's main stock index ended the week just a touch into negative territory. In Toronto, the TSX lost 9 points. In New York, the Dow fell 80, but the Nasdaq gained 398. The Canadian dollar added a modest 0.05 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained almost $17 an ounce and oil fell $1.45 a barrel. A 4-year-old boy with a lot to say but struggling to be understood now as therapy is coming to an end.
Our $15,000 backyard refresh is ongoing, powered by Plantscape Windsor. Head to ctvwindsor.ca, upload your photo of your backyard. You could be the big winner. And picture it now. Get to your backyard. Upload today.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Gorgeous flowers. I saw plenty of those while I was in Jackson Park today. Gary, all over the place. Beautiful sunny skies too. When the rain came down, it came down back to sunny skies.
You're right about that. We will see more showery activity, and the tulips, they've gotten off to an early start this spring season because of the warm temperatures over the last 2 to 3 weeks. The over and above percentages, that is the prediction rather, that we will continue to be in this wave of warmer than seasonal temperatures is coming to an end, at least this weekend. More on that in just a moment. But we were close to 6 to 8 degrees above seasonal today, reaching a high of almost 23. Our average high is closer to 15. Air quality is decent, so that's good. Temperatures a bit cooler in Chatham-Kent, closer to about 14 to 15 degrees Celsius, with hazy conditions, increase in cloudiness, obviously, and the rains in our airspace. So between 14 and 18 now, and it will just get cooler as this cold front moves through with showers and windy conditions. Speaking of cold, it's cold across parts of the prairies. Northern, central Saskatchewan, extreme northern Manitoba, and parts of eastern Alberta. Definitely cold. Regina's at -3, and we're talking about mid to upper teens through the early evening. It's because of this advancing cold front that we're seeing the rain and the potential for some isolated thunderstorm activity. So between now and, say, Saturday morning at around 4 or 5 a.m., we are cloudy and rainy. The initial front has brought showers through, and we'll have residual effects post-frontal, what's in behind that cooler air mass. That will also deliver some showers, and then we'll get a beautiful clearing for Sunday and Monday. I think Sunday and Monday will be comfortable, beautiful, dry, and lovely. Right now, we have to contend with the wet weather tonight, and the heaviest amounts likely for Amherstburg, Kingsville, Leamington, Pelee Island. Our friends in Leamington could see 30 plus in terms of the rainfall tally, 30 millimeters or higher. Tonight, showery, thunderstorm threat through 8 o'clock. By midnight, 12 degrees showery, and then by tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., it's still mild, 10 degrees, but we don't increase much. We'll see a high of 14 and some cloud in the afternoon. It's not a complete washout. Sunny for Sunday, Monday. Beautiful. 18 and then 21. Then 17, 18, 14, 11. We're up and down and cooler a week from now. Let's look at your 7-day forecast courtesy of Enercare Siles.
A A 4-year-old Ontario boy who lives with a rare neurological condition is beginning to find his voice, but he's already aging out of provincial health coverage for a therapy his family says has been making a huge difference. CTV's Spencer Turcotte has the details.
Jace Goldberg is a curious, energetic 4-year-old with plenty to say, but getting the words out isn't easy.
The brain knows what it wants to say, but it has trouble communicating to the mouth, the jaw, the tongue.
Jace has childhood apraxia of speech, a rare motor speech disorder that affects how the brain plans and coordinates the movements needed to talk. His mother says there were early signs.
I noticed that he just wouldn't babble, he just wouldn't make noises or sounds or anything.
By 3 years old, Jace was diagnosed. He understands what's happening around him, but struggles to respond, relying on gestures and a handful of words to communicate.
Ready?
Jace has been getting some speech therapy through Kids Ability, which is covered by OHIP, but that won't last much longer.
When they hit JK in most regions, they have to stop those services as they become part of the education system in Ontario.
Speech-language pathologist Brooke Ray has been working with Jace for more than a year. His parents knew time was running out for the provincially funded therapy. But the tricky thing about private therapy is it costs more than $100 per session multiple times each week.
If you were learning how to serve a tennis ball and you only practice once a week for 10 minutes, you can imagine it would take you a really long time to feel comfortable doing that. So speech is kind of the same thing for him.
So far, Jace has shown significant improvements.
We're going to say goodbye to Spencer first. Bye-bye. The fact that I never heard mama, which is probably the most easiest word to say until about 6 months ago. Seeing him be able to say up or go or mama, it's the best thing in the world.
But now Jace's family finds themselves in a tricky position. They're worried they won't be able to continue paying for his therapy.
And it's sometimes scary to even think, how are we going to afford everything?
They hope sharing Jace's story raises awareness about childhood apraxia of speech and that the province reconsiders how long families are eligible for financial support. CTV News did reach out to the Ministry of Health for comment, but we did not receive a response in time for air.
Are we going to block him?
Jace's mom says she won't give up on her son one day being able to speak up for himself. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News, Guelph.
I'm coming. Ready? What did you get?
As the weather warms up, more people are heading outside. That's prompted a warning from health experts about the higher risk this year from ticks. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth explains.
Many Canadians are now spending more time outside, and Donna Lugar is reminding people tick dangers are re-emerging this spring.
I was in bed in the dark because I had a light sensitivity.
Lugar was diagnosed 14 years ago with multiple tick-borne illnesses. She's urging all Canadians to avoid ticks and the diseases they carry.
You have to make the tick checks a part of your daily routine.
Biology professor Vet Lloyd says bites from black-legged ticks are the most dangerous.
They're going to be spitting into your bloodstream pathogens, disease-causing microbes, bacteria, viruses that they've picked up from the wildlife.
Based on recent medical research, tick-transmitted illnesses are overwhelmingly Lyme disease, but there are others to watch for.
Anaplasmosis, babesiosis, and actually last year we started to see in the most southern part of Ontario something called Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Each are treatable and they come with a multitude of symptoms.
Fatigue to varying extents. Some people have bone and joint complaints where they have inflammation of various joints. Sometimes it's migratory. Some people can have nerve pain.
Lloyd believes the recent harsh winter has led to an increase in the tick population because deep snow serves as an insulating blanket.
They spend the winter in the top surface of the soil, waiting for it to be warmer again.
Which is basically now. According to Vet Lloyd, mid to late April marks the beginning of tick season for many parts of Canada. Lugar agrees with Lloyd, but also warns because of the fluctuation in Canada's climate.
They can be active any month of the year.
Which means she fears Lyme disease and other tick-borne illnesses are becoming a year-round concern. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
A multi-season native plant, good for landscaping and parks. When we return, why you might want to plant this in your garden.
Sandy McDonald joins me again. Thank you so much for your expertise on a day where we're talking about a tree you introduced me to last year, and it's been around my whole life, apparently. I just didn't realize it. I'm in love with the serviceberry tree. Talk to us about its magnificence.
Me too. Such a great tree. A native tree to Canada as well. We have a number of species across the country, and very hardy, very easy to grow, and an all-season type of plant. Beautiful spring flowers, as we can see today. They last for just a little while, but mid-June, later in June, beautiful, delicious berries. A little bit like blueberries, but I think, in my opinion, even better. And then beautiful fall color as well. Orange to reddish fall color as well. Multi-season, native plant, great for almost anybody's garden. It's so adaptable, and again, being a native plant, many people are very interested in adding more natives to the garden, and the multi-use factor as well. Very few diseases, very few pests, a very hardy plant, so something we should consider for landscape use, park use, very, very useful.
Last question for you. Talk to us about sustainability and robustness through our harsh Canadian winters at times. How does it fare?
Super durable. We have types that are even very, very hardy for the mid-prairies, and it's grown there actually commercially for the fruit as well. And here at Southwestern Ontario, we don't have to worry because we've got fairly moderate weather. We can actually grow a few more species and types here than they might in the prairies, but very good for our climate. No issues here.
Right. Sandy McDonald, thank you. The serviceberry tree, you can make jam, folks. Nice spread on your toast in the morning, right? I'm loving the idea. I'm going to be getting a couple myself. We'll see you next week for another installment of Get Gardening.
The federal government has approved a $4 billion expansion of Enbridge's pipeline system on BC's west coast. The company says the natural gas project is shovel-ready. Here's CTV's Rachel Aiello.
Today, Enbridge's $4 billion BC natural gas pipeline expansion got the green light, adding capacity and fortifying a West Coast liquefied natural gas project.
This expansion ensures British Columbia has enough gas to supply an LNG export facility like Woodfibre LNG, which will be the first net zero LNG export facility in the world.
The project will add approximately 140 kilometers of new pipeline by constructing 11 pipeline looping segments parallel to the existing line.
Well, it's pretty small, relatively speaking. So 300 million cubic feet a day is, in the context of what we do in Western Canada, is probably 16 or 18 billion cubic feet a day of gas production right now.
Construction will begin this summer, and the government says the expansion is set to add more than $3 billion to Canada's GDP, generate more than $700 million in tax revenue, and create 2,500 jobs, including for local Indigenous communities.
I think this comes at an important time. There's a lot of economic uncertainty in the world, and Canada's economy needs these kinds of jobs.
In a statement, Enbridge's CEO said, "We're excited about the role this project will play in increasing economic prosperity and energy security." But critics say this expansion took far too long to approve, given the Liberals' promise of record speed, and that in the future, major projects need to start moving way faster.
There have been lots of announcements, lots of press releases, lots of news coverage about bureaucratic busy work, but not a lot of results.
Canada's energy regulator greenlit the project with 47 binding conditions related to environmental protection, safety, and Indigenous engagement. It's expected to be operational by 2028. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. Get ready for the Big Red Shoe 5K run or walk. Join us and help kick off the McHappy Day celebrations and support the Ronald McDonald House. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. Now, Melanie, you have more on the Emancipation Celebration Monument that we showed earlier on in the show.
That's right. So the city is launching a commemorative brick program, and there will be pathways with opportunities for donors to have their names engraved on the bricks around the site.
Your $100 donation will provide one gray 6x12 brick with a name or message inscribed. 3 rows to the inscription, 16 characters per row, including spaces and punctuation.
We put the link to donate on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have an online story, Melanie, about Ticketmaster actually delisting resale tickets.
Yeah, so this is due to incoming provincial legislation that will cap the price of resale tickets at face value. The company says customers will be able to relist their tickets next week after the resale marketplace has been updated. The Ontario government passed its budget bill, which included the price cap, but the bill has yet to receive royal assent. This follows complaints about tickets to popular events being scooped up by resellers who then post them for several times their face value. And in our social spotlight, when you check into your hotel and there's construction next door.
Like I need a microphone to tell them what they're doing wrong. See a lot of talk and not a lot of work from these two guys.
So this guy is a construction foreman. Sitting and watching construction across the street is his version of a busman's holiday. He has plenty of criticism for his fellow construction workers, Stefanie.
I know, I bet. I think like many of us, when we go on holiday, we just want to step away from our career, from our job, take a breather. Maybe he could request a different room on the other side of the hotel.
I think he's hooked. He seems to be enjoying watching it. I don't know.
Well, he clearly does seem passionate. Okay, and that's what's happening now. Thank you, Melanie. And when we return, we'll have a friendly wager with the CTV anchors in Kitchener. Beautiful greenery. And I bet a lot of people are thinking or already have cut their grass, but it's kind of like a wait and see, right? We've been seeing so much rain.
Well,
right?
I mean, cutting your grass, you know, you don't want to go too low, and of course you don't want it to get too high. I mean, there's so many considerations, of course. Too low, and you're going to burn your grass, potentially in the warm spots. And too high, of course, fleas and ticks love grass that is high. And of course, we want to water our grass without overdoing it. So a couple of things to point out here. We are in the midst of rain, but we'll dry out and we'll see some sunshine. Temperatures are fluctuating quite a bit, mid-teens to low 20s over the next 3 days, and then we get cooler and more rain through the midweek. This is actually a healthy balance. A few days off, a few days on, that sort of thing. Yeah, but cutting your grass,
when it's
just
wet.
to make sure, not when it's wet, when it's dry. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Now, the top-seeded Kitchener Rangers take on the second-seeded Spitfires tonight in a rematch of last season's heartbreaking series, one that will be definitely different, I think, this time around. We are joined by our colleagues at CTV Kitchener.
Hey everyone, it's Tony along with Leanne and Ashley here at CTV Kitchener, and we just want to say we're super excited about the OHL West Final. Our Kitchener Rangers we're representing here, taking on your Windsor Spitfires. We're pretty sure that the Rangers are going to take this and get all the way to the Memorial Cup. But, you know, in the off chance that they don't, we like to be good sports in these situations, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And it seems like deja vu because we meet again. We were here last time, and if your viewers remember, we made a little friendly bet, and you ended up owing us because the Kitchener Rangers won. Can they do it again?
Well, look, Leanne, in the off chance that we don't win, and I very much believe it's an off chance, Tony, we have something on offer, don't we?
We do, and it's going to taste good if this happens. So Four Fathers Brewing Company here locally, they make a beer called the Rangers Lager. It's a beautiful, crisp beer that I know is going to taste good when we celebrate the Rangers West Conference Final win. But in the off chance that we don't, you'll get to see what this beer tastes like as well.
Yeah, hopefully we're the ones getting to enjoy it, but hey, who doesn't love a little friendly competition?
Yeah,
good
go
luck.
Rangers, go Rangers.
I don't mind friendly competition, but man, the last 2 years have been rough.
They have.
The outcome has not been great. We've had to buy a lot of pizza.
Yes,
but
we have.
Things seem so different this year. Like, as Bob's been telling us every week, like the Spitfires are on fire.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
they are.
thirsty, so I'll take that beer that they're offering.
I'm not a beer drinker myself. Cognac, brandy on a special occasion, champagne.
Yes, Mr. Fancy.
Well,
okay, thank you.
I'm just being honest.
Okay, well, we'll be watching the game very closely, and you will have the results tonight at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll have the score, we'll have the outcome, and that and all your latest local news and everything tonight at 11. And Gary with the weather.
Okay, that is all we have for tonight. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary, I, and the outcome of the Spitz game will be back with your late local newscast at 11.
Go Spitz, go!
Yes.